Hi again, guys. So the big match in the league is tomorrow, where we play against AC Taipei. If we win that match, we have the league clinched because there's no other thing that is going to get us out of first place. All we have to do is win one, and we've got it. I did want to talk, though, briefly here about sort of the change of fortunes that we've seen recently. You'll remember me complaining earlier about Nene. Where are you, Nene? There you are. Néné Gnaziri from Ivory Coast. Néné Gnaziri has 28 goals and 19 appearances now, and you're probably wondering why in the world I would ever complain about him. He's elusive, clinical, a volume scorer. He outperforms expectations and blah, blah, blah. The reason why I was worried about him before is when we look at his form, we can see him having all these really, really poor matches. Now, I know that against April 25th, as you'll recall, he had a poor match. But before then, for all of these matches here, he was doing very, very well as the shadow striker. Once we got him away from that advanced forward role, all of a sudden he was able to find more space to work with and was able to do a lot more things, right? And so this is why you see all those goals come up again after this big drought. It was during that drought, and especially matches like, this was a friendly, but some of the matches that came before here where I started to think that we probably need to release him. Now, I will say a couple of things about him, right? He's 20 years old now. He came in and was 19. Right, he's definitely not at the end of his development. His progress has just been up like crazy over the last couple of months. And since he's changed over to that shadow striker role, which is right here, it started to shoot up again. I don't know what his star rating is, but we do know that he's getting better and better at everything. There are a couple of things that we can look at quickly if we go over to our highlights of prior matches to see sort of what he's been doing and how he's been doing it, right? So we'll go ahead. We'll take a look at just a couple of these matches. It's going to be relatively short here, and we're going to see if we can see exactly what having him play a little bit further back has done in terms of kind of opening up the game for him, right? So Néné here, we've seen him do this a lot before. He has that speed when he gets the ball. If he can get it behind the defense, he's fine. The nice thing that happens now, though, that he's playing as as one of our three shadow strikers, as you can see right here, is that the chances of him being onside are actually a little bit greater because instead of playing down over here behind the defense, he tends to play further back. See how far back he starts the run, and boom, right there, right when he is about to hit that point where he's offside, he gets the pass from Ling Wanda. Right, that's the thing that's been happening with him over and over again since we changed the formation. Here again, so he's playing further back. He knows he can outrun the entire defense. Somebody puts a ball forward for him, and he just runs over and grabs it and puts it in. We'll go look at a different match here. I haven't done a whole lot of work beforehand to see which one is which. This was that match against China Petroleum that was 1-0. That was far closer than it ever should have been. Néné, as I recall, scored right at the very beginning of this one. And that was really the only highlight for what was otherwise a pretty lame and pretty boring match. And here was Feng Xiaoqi bringing it up to the side, and he finds Néné there. See, Néné, again, the way that things were before, he would be lining up offside. But for this one, you can see that because he's been instructed to stay further back, he is staying further back until the last second, and then all of a sudden he bursts forward and he is onside, right? That's the difference that this makes, right? Now, Football Manager is really interesting because what we've been seeing happening here is that Néné has completely confused the defense since being pushed back a little bit further. Instead of attacking, instead of always being the guy who's further forward and having the defense kind of know, okay, this guy's going to be forward. We know what he's going to do. He's been playing further in the back, and it really causes problems for the defense, not knowing whether they should play back further or whether they're okay playing up, and that's what's creating this space. I don't know if I can find one here, and I only have a couple of seconds to talk, but if we can find one that's from open play, sort of like this, you can see that. Yeah, this is actually a really, really good example of that. If you look at the amount of space that he has, the reason why I don't think it's necessarily realistic, but the reason why is because in Football Manager, when he's playing back like this, the defense is expecting there to be a striker, and there is no striker, right? And so they play off of him and they come back looking for something else to happen. And as a result, he's just absolutely wide open and he can shoot amazing shots like that and can score goals that he definitely was not scoring before. So this is another reason that I really, really strongly recommend taking a look at potential strikerless formation and seeing what you can do with it. We have 3 guys, remember, who are playing strikerless or who are playing up there, not just the one, but Néné definitely is the center of attention, right? Because he's the one who can score the most goals. We know that he has the ability to score, and man, he has been hammering in the goals ever since we made this change. So anyway, there you go. A little bit of advice from me. It works, at least in this version of Football Manager. I assume it will work again in the future. The computer in Football Manager has a real hard time dealing with this formation, and it has a real hard time knowing what to do if there are no strikers. And it's really interesting to see the sort of space that you win naturally and the kind of goal scoring that comes up. And also, offsides all of a sudden doesn't seem to matter so much. So there you have it. Talk with you tomorrow when we'll have the big game. Talk to you then. Bye.